Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. If you're watching live, thank you very much. If you're watching the replay, thank you for that. This is another exciting episode of Tech Tuesdays, which is a joint effort between South Florida Tech Hub and the Owwll App. If you don't have the Owwll App, you can download it now. The only way you'll be able to call in and ask questions is through the Owwll App. If you do that, look for me, Jeffry Ullman, Ullman. I'm with South Florida Tech Hub. Couple of words about South Florida Tech Hub. We are a nonprofit supporting the South Florida region from startups to large multinational corporations. We've got a jam-packed show for you today. Some very exciting guests. Couple of quick things, just shameless plugs for South Florida Tech Hub. We have a lunch and learn this Friday on how to jumpstart your tech career. We've got a hackathon September 20th. We're going to be awarding $5,000 to all you programmer types. And the biggest event in the year, every year, I know we're all excited, Tech Palooza 2024, be December 11th at the Broward County Convention Center. Welcome. I think that's enough for me as a kickoff. I'm going to let Ricky introduce himself, and then I'm going to turn it over to Cindy and let her talk to Lisa, our other special guest. So go ahead, Ricky.
Hi, I'm Ricky Bolifay. I'm a musician and a children's book author. And I just kind of walked in here and they said, hey, do you want to sit down and be on this microphone? So I'm fully prepared to be here, ladies and gentlemen.
And he has that DJ voice, right?
Yes, and as well as that.
We might have some musical entertainment if we have time today.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. Well,
Cindy, take it over.
Good morning, everyone. Excited to be here with this team, incredible team from South Florida Tech Hub and beautiful guests. So I am Cindy Metzler. I have a marketing and PR company called Owwll Media. And I'm also co-organizer of TEDx Boca Raton. I have been in the South Florida tech community for 25 years. I'm
No way.
native New Yorker, but moved here in the late 90s. I can't believe it's 2024, right? It's the late 90s during the dot-com boom. And so Jeffrey worked at IBM, and I had a lot of IBM clients back in the day. So that's how we got involved in the tech community back years and years ago.
I have some breaking news. I'm going to embarrass Cindy. Today is her birthday. I think she just turned 29.
That's right, 29.
Happy 29.
And we have an incredible guest here, Lisa Stella. We go way back too in the South Florida community, and I'm so happy to sit down with her, learn more about what she's doing. She's an incredible woman doing great things in South Florida community. So welcome, Lisa.
Thank you, Cindy. It's always so good to see you. I mean, again, always in passing, it seems, instead of us really getting together and really catching up and chatting. But the things that you've been able to do for our community in so many different communities within our community, for women, in tech, and also in HVAC, and all the other things that you kind of dip your toe in. It's just pretty amazing.
Thank you. And I'm excited to learn more and really dip our toe into what you're doing, right? Tell us.
Well, I'm Lisa Stella, and I am the executive director of the Lighthouse for the Blind. It's an organization that has been around, a nonprofit organization that's been around since 1946, and we help people ages 0 to expiration who are visually impaired.
Wow. That's quite a spread, right?
Absolutely. However, we meet people at their levels and we help them maximize what they have as far as vision is concerned so they can live full and quality lives. So.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit before the show started, and I was saying that my father-in-law was legally blind before he passed away, and he was a veteran, and the VA helped him. But what you guys are doing is incredible because it's such an important, valuable community that I think people don't really know about. So I'm excited to learn more and learn how we can help.
It's amazing because we see a lot of joy at the Lighthouse. Once a month, we have something called a Focus Club, and it's the adults coming in, and they get an opportunity to have a guest speaker, and it could be any guest speaker. It could be, this is how you vote when you have this special disability, or it could be, safety during a hurricane. How do you protect yourself? And also then there's time for them to socialize. And then, of course, they usually have something to eat. But what's really key about the socialization is that many of these people have been through the technology classes that we offer at the Lighthouse. So they've learned how to use their iPhone. They've learned how to text each other. They've learned how to get out of a situation where otherwise they would feel very isolated. They're part of a community and they support each other. And there's so many things that they do together. And there are social activities they do too. We recently went to Mamma Mia. And the Kravis Center was kind enough to make special accommodations so our clients could go back and look at the costumes, have audio, the audio features available to them so they can enjoy the program while everyone else, and everything was described to them so they could feel like they were truly part of it, which is amazing.
That is amazing. It's funny. Yesterday I was on a plane in the morning and I was watching, there's a new show on The Edge, I think it's called. It's like a streaming show with, Orlando Bloom, and he was climbing mountains, rock climbing, and there was someone who was visually impaired, and I was just in awe. There was not just visually impaired, there was someone who had one arm, and the incredible things they could do, and it just gave you insight into, when you don't have those impairments, how much we should be grateful for, right? And then what they can do with the tools that you provide.
Absolutely. And again, I mean, if you think about a day in the life of somebody who's visually impaired, they're legally blind, they can't drive. So how do they get around? They may have somebody in their family that will transport them wherever they go. They can't just jump in the car when they feel like going to get an ice cream. It just doesn't happen. They can't be spontaneous like we're so used to doing.
Mm-hmm.
They have to actually plan their transportation. Here in Palm Beach, we do have a pretty good transit system, but they have to plan at least 24 hours in advance. And with that planning time, they also have to plan a window of time. So if they need to be somewhere at 9 o'clock, what time does the transit come and pick them up? And then sometimes they're waiting, they're picked up very, very early. And then they sit and they wait for whatever appointment there is. So there is a lot of time that's spent just planning and going and doing. And what if you go to a doctor's appointment and they take you an hour later and you miss your transportation? How do you make that up? I mean, we don't think about these things, but a day in the life, something as simple as getting from place to place, it's a job. It really is.
Oh my gosh. It's incredible. And I was oh, look at this. Oh,
Happy
Jason.
birthday to you.
You guys are so sweet. Oh, I always like to keep my birthday on the down low, but this is so
not gonna happen.
special. Oh
Not
my
gonna happen.
gosh. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna sneak in here,
Oh, mwah.
but I
Thank
just wanted to
you.
wish Cindy a happy birthday. She's a huge supporter of the Owwll community, the Tech Hub community, and all of her clients. She is always there for them. So I just want to say happy birthday.
Oh, thank you guys. This is so special. Thank you. I'm going to make a wish.
Yay.
Yay, thank you. Okay, we're going to have cake after the
I'm looking forward to
show.
it.
An
I
episode
have
for
to
me
take
to join.
my
huh?
12 o'clock in the lobby and come back for that.
So
Amazing.
this is a first. We've never had a happy birthday on a Tech Tuesday. So this will go down in the annals of the Tech Tuesday history.
No, and it's special too because my husband's working in Nashville and my daughter's in college. So it was just my son and I for the first year. I was like, oh, it's so quiet in the house. Normally it's like we get up and there's a little hoopla, but this is hoopla. Thank
There
you
you go.
guys.
That's awesome.
Yay. So, so tell us how people can get involved, Lisa, and tell us about Barbie here because I know you won an incredible award at the Golden Palms.
Yes, well, we were delighted and excited to be nominated for the Inclusion Champion and the Education Champion. And prior to the event, Mattel had announced that they had a blind Barbie, which is here, and it's really kind of interesting because they have the Barbies, fashionista Barbies that have special needs, and she has a cane and she has sunglasses. So again, what does a blind person look like? A blind person looks like everybody else. Look at yourself in the mirror. Look at Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
It could be any of us, and it could be all of us.
Love it.
And as a
Quick question, Lisa, before
Sure.
you move on. Is this Barbie, as well as the other Barbies in the series, are they commercially available today?
yes.
Where would someone go if they wanted to buy this Barbie or the other Barbie?
You can go to the Mattel website, and they usually direct you to the vendors that have them available because they are in limited quantity. So I was able to purchase some from Target, as a matter of
Love
fact.
it. How
And
special.
So it was just really neat. So
yeah.
So another shameless plug, Mattel, if you're listening, I'm Hint, hint, nod, nod, wink, wink. I'm hoping to get Mattel to come to Techpalooza with Lisa, and we have all the Barbies on
Wonderful.
display
That would be amazing.
for all the people in the tech community to get more informed, and for anyone that's affected by those conditions to see that they can be active members of the community as well.
Incredible. Yeah, it's a great way to showcase it too.
I think so.
And
Didn't
reach
mean
so
to
many.
jump there, but I thought I'd insert it.
Of course. I've known Jeffrey forever. Of course, he's going to do that. So.
I didn't want to disappoint you,
Not
Lisa.
surprised, and you don't ever. So, so what was really delightful about the Golden Palm Award is that we were MVPs, so we were able to go to the pre-event prior to the evening, and of course, I'm walking around and I'm ready for this event. And I figured we were going to win the Inclusion Award. I just had a really good gut feeling. So I said, you know what? This Barbie is here. Why not present one to Nikki to say thank you so much? Because, you're actually recognizing us for being inclusive, but so are you. And this is, something that is new and just been announced. So I'm walking around literally with a Barbie in my pocketbook, a grown woman. So this gentleman comes up to me as we're, talking and socializing. And he says to me, my name is Tony. I said, hi, Tony. And he said, I'm from Mattel. I said, what?
Wow.
I was like, the stars are aligning. I said,
Okay, Mattel, if you're listening.
There you go.
Woohoo, we have a local celebrity from Mattel.
and what was really funny is that I said, you're not going to believe this. And I told him the story that I was going to present Nikki with this. And he said, you're kidding me. And I said, no. And he said, can you show me? So here I am taking the Barbie out of my purse. And he said, can I take a picture of you with it? And I said, absolutely.
Oh,
So then
that's
he took a
great.
picture. And actually, he said the following Wednesday, he was supposed to go to LA and meet with the executives in Mattel. And he was going to share the story. So I'm anxious to see how that went because he's been traveling a lot. So he should be back in
Yeah.
town soon.
That's so cool. What
Yeah.
a great story.
Yeah.
No, we were at the Logan Airport in Boston yesterday morning, and my son and I actually saw someone traveling in the airport with I don't know what it's called, a cane
White cane. Mhm.
and glasses, and we were both saying how incredible, when you think about the Boston airport, it's not small to
Right.
be able to maneuver through that without sight. I mean, and you have to, I'm sure, do those things. And we were also talking a little bit about how some of the other senses get stronger
Right.
because you're missing, other things. So
Yeah, yeah. Like you even said, we talked before, the sense of smell and also what you hear. It's just amazing.
yeah.
And you have to be so in tune because you have to figure out how you can navigate that. But what's really, I want to finish about the awards because I know it's very
Yes,
exciting
of
for us
course.
to talk about that. So again, during the ceremony, we didn't win the Inclusive Award. So I was a little bummed. We didn't win the Education Award. But then all of a sudden, Nikki came up and she said, this particular nomination was just so special. And this organization relies so much on technology to be able to give their clients the opportunity to have such a full and independent life where they can thrive and really enjoy themselves. And she said we had to create this award for them called
How
Tech for Good.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
How beautiful.
The first
Yay.
winners of the award.
Yes.
Tech for good.
Tech for
Yeah.
good.
And we were all there. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. It really was.
Quick point: the Nikki that Lisa was referring to is Nikki Caboose, the CEO of Tech Hub, my boss. So shout out, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki. Nikki does incredible things for the community and the
does.
whole group. Yeah. It's amazing.
So little backstory. I was part of the Inclusion Award nomination for Lisa because I've known her a long time, and I knew that we had created this award, but I couldn't tell her that. But it was interesting. We had a lot of behind the scenes conversation, and we, as an organization, we were so impressed. Such a really good use of technology that we decided as an organization, just for the Lighthouse for the Blind, to create a new award, and they were the first winner. So kudos to Lisa.
And again, this is a testament to
Let me, Lisa. Whoops.
Oh.
That's the award. It's a
That's the
beautiful award.
and the
Very
program.
nice. Very nice. Sorry.
And we're very, very proud to have it. It was backwards.
Sorry.
But again, this is a testament to the people behind the scenes who I work with, who selflessly do this work. And I have to tell you, I've never met so many people with so much passion
Whoops.
and love for the work that they do and the things that they're able to help those who need to relearn different skills, because you can lose your sight at any age or not have any sight at any age. And they say that only about 10% of the people who are blind or visually impaired are really blind and can't see anything with white canes. But through adaptive software, they're able to function and have jobs, full-time jobs. They have families. And as a matter of fact, on our team, we have 3 people who have been former clients that are now teaching others.
There you go.
That's incredible.
And that's
Wow.
amazing. And next
So
week,
amazing.
we're going to have a young lady who lost her sight, who is an accountant by trade. She's going to be working with us part-time. So we're setting up her machine. So she has her adaptive software for QuickBooks and whatever other applications she needs in her screens. So we're just really super excited to be able to take this community and showcase them and see, I mean, amazing people who have amazing talent, that they have so much to give. And we just want people in other industries to realize that and recognize it and hopefully give them a chance.
No, it's wonderful. And it's the cool thing is, like, the average person wouldn't really know that technology is used by so many
It's
with
true.
blindness. You
Mhm.
know, I see there's little braille on the Barbie.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
How
Isn't that
cool. Yes. Very cool. So neat. So Ricky, any words you want to jump in?
I'm just sitting here and realizing I've done nothing of note in my entire I will say, I mean, like, I'm just listening to the stories and awe-inspiring, obviously. As a member of the music community, I'm curious, is there anything that we could be able to do to help with what you do?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we recently, it was in June, we had a talent show.
Oh, really?
And the gentleman who works for us is totally blind, and he decided he wanted to be a rap star. He had a video, and he actually went during the summertime. He went down to Jamaica, and he had a couple of gigs.
Wow.
And it's just because he wanted to do that.
Mhm.
so
And
cool.
it was just great, and he entertained the community, and they were just loving it. And we had other people that were doing comedy, but music is key.
Mhm.
A lot of times at our luncheon that we have in March, we have somebody who is visually impaired that will play the piano or play the violin or do something like that, because we want people to see that there are so many talented people out there with or without disabilities.
Mhm.
So Ricky has given me idea. Lisa, if someone in the audience, let's say, wants to volunteer, or if there's a company that may have a role that they could have someone that's visually impaired be a candidate for, first of all, what's your actual URL?
It is LH for Lighthouse, PB.org.
Okay. And you are on the Owwll app, correct?
That's correct.
And I'm going to put you on the spot. Have you decided what your office hours are?
My best times are usually either early 8 to 9 or probably later 5 to 6.
Okay.
And
So
it'll vary on different days depending on what kind of appointments I have or after hours engagements.
so you can reach out to Lisa on the Owwll app or LinkedIn, or maybe through their website as well. What if someone wanted to volunteer specifically for your organization, like Ricky?
Oh,
How
yeah.
would he do that?
100%. The reason why I was asking is because I know other people in the music community that would
We'd love to
be
have
able
you.
Right,
to donate
right.
our time to
Right.
your cause.
We'd love to have you. And especially when we have the group get together or when we have different activities or special functions, we'd love to have you participate. And like I said, the first Friday of the month, we usually have a big group that comes together and they have, a special topic they talk about and they get a chance to be social. But of course, bringing music in, everyone loves music.
I mean, yeah.
We'd love that.
Mhm.
So I would suggest that you call Lighthouse for the Blind if you're interested in volunteering or you have some career opportunities. And the number is 561-586-5600. Again, Anna will be happy to answer your call. She's wonderful. She is our administrative assistant, and she will field your call to make sure that you speak to the right person.
If Ann is not available, operators are standing by. Call now.
Tell us about the event, Lisa, that you mentioned that's coming up.
Well, we
Sorry.
actually have a couple. We have a new one that we're starting that we've never done before. I know Amy Kite, who is the CEO of Bush Wildlife,
Oh,
And
I
she's so
love Bush
kindly.
Wildlife. Yeah.
They just opened a new facility, and what happens is if you've ever been, you see that they have the wild animals, but they're in cages, so they're kind of hard to see, right? Unless you're really looking for them. So what she and her team are going to do with us is we're having a before the holiday event for our children, their families, and the adults. We're including everybody, and we're going to have Lighthouse Goes Wild for the holidays. But it's going to be on November 16th, and it's before Thanksgiving, it's before Christmas, it's before Hanukkah, it's before Kwanzaa, and we're getting everybody before they get in the holiday frenzy.
Right.
And we'll have them go from 5 to 7. These are our clients. And we're going to have sponsors that will have different booths where they can get hot cocoa. They can make an ornament. Santa Claus will be there. They can get the picture taken with Santa Claus. One of our vice chair is going to be the head elf, and she's going to have everybody's kids as little elves. And we're just going to have a really good time doing fun stuff. And then what Bush Wildlife is going to do, they have a bunch of volunteers that are going to be walking around with animals. So you'll have an inclusive event that people who normally may not be able to enjoy them because they're visually impaired will be up close and personal. So we're really excited about it. So
That's great. That's going to be so fun. I know I've had birthday parties for my kids. Now they're teenagers, but when they were little at Bush Wildlife, so fun. And to be able to have the animals up close and personal and pet them. Very cool. And it's open to the public.
Actually, no, it's
No?
just what's
Okay.
open is that if you would like to sponsor and work a
Okay.
table, because there'll be about 6, 7, 8 tables, we're open to that, because again, then you would be introduced to this community
That's great.
and get a chance to meet the children and the families and of course the adults that are there, because we want them to come out and have fun, and
Love it.
we're excited about that. And then in March, we have something called the Envision Luncheon, March 12th. And it is going to be at the Selfish Club on Palm Beach. And again, we'll have a special keynote speaker, and we have a lovely lunch, and it's a fundraiser for the Lighthouse for the Blind. And we'll get a chance to, talk about the Lighthouse, and people will get a chance to understand what the work that we do.
And I'm sure you get to hear a lot of stories, personal stories, about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So many wonderful stories. As a matter of fact, there's this gentleman, and he was actually, the Palm Beach Post does the season of giving.
Yeah.
They do that around the holidays. He was chosen a couple of years ago for the season of giving. He had come from Haiti, lost everything in Haiti.
Wow.
He and his wife came here. They were homeless. They were going from family to family. And he actually won the season of giving, and there was monies that were given to him to help he and his wife get a place to live, get food, and also to rehabilitate him because he lost his sight. So now I am so pleased and so excited that he just recently started this new collaboration we have with Extraordinary Charities and their program called Recipes for Success. He's now part of an 8-week culinary program, and he will have a culinary certificate.
Wow.
And he will be able to work in the culinary field. And I was there last week, and I saw him in action, and I saw him sauteing his chicken. But prior to that, I saw him seasoning his chicken, and all the other people, they were
Making
in
me
chef's-
hungry, right?
Yes, they were in chef jackets, and they were in hats, and they had gotten orientation and mobility done that because it was the first day I was there to see them. So they knew where to hang their jackets, and they have there's different things, sensory things that each one knew which one belonged to whom. So they knew where to place their hat and everything, and they were able to navigate the kitchen as a result of getting that instruction from one of our teachers.
Incredible. Wow. No, it sounds like a
Yeah.
really, really fun course. Is it ongoing or?
It depends. You'd have to contact the organization because they do have 8-week classes, and they do have them at different times, but they also do have fun events. Like I think they're doing a mommy and me cook-off or something. And as a matter of fact, one of our clients, and I haven't followed up, he was a judge for their chop session. They did a chop session.
Wow.
Like the nonprofits were competing
Like the
against each
TV
other.
shop?
Yeah, like the TV chop.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds like so many cool events that you have.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And again,
And initiatives that are really helping.
what people forget to think about is that we are here for this community, and we all have wonderful things to give. And it's not about fighting for a dollar. It's about working together to bring out the best in the community. So these are other organizations that are nonprofit organizations, but then we can work together to give so much to this community.
Right.
And it's just, it warms my heart, and it makes it a better place. So I love that.
I know. And that's part of who you are, Lisa, too. I know you go back. No, seriously, you give so much to the community. I just known over the years, it's not, it's just part of your DNA. It's part of who you are. And it's beautiful.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And again, hard to believe I spent 22 years at IBM.
No way. You
Before I
started
went
when
in-
you were 10. we have a caller.
Oh, look at that.
Yes. Happy Tuesday.
Hello. Hi, EA. How are you?
Excellent. Every day is a holiday and every meal is a feast. Okay. I am watching you guys live and I was like, okay, I have to call in because this AI is driving me crazy. Like, what can I do? How? Like, it's so many different AIs going on. Like, what is the best AI tool to use?
Wow. It's a lot.
What would you suggest?
Well, we just had an AI event last week, and Jeffrey was there, and yeah, it was very cool. And I know that there's a lot of members of South Florida Tech Hub
Right.
that are heavily involved in the AI community, but there were a few speakers that were just doing some really incredible things. I'll let Jeffrey speak to it a little bit.
Well, you got a couple hours.
Well,
So-
I mean, it's a 10-minute call. I'm gonna have to keep it.
Well, actually, first of all, great question. Second of all, thanks for calling in.
Yeah.
The last two Tech Tuesdays that we had, which are recorded and available for replay, were about AI. So we had some interesting conversations. So if you can find the last two recordings, one was with a local company called Click2.ai. Interesting use of AI for LinkedIn. Second company was TurboDocs, an interesting use of AI for automating the creation of statements of work or presentations, which we all do and manually.
Yes.
So we talk a lot about different AI tools, the future of AI. So I'd say the first thing is watch those replays. Very, very informative. You can reach out to those two CEOs. They'd be, happy to talk to you about that. The other thing is, if you can find Cindy's, what's the best website if they want to look up your event? Who the speakers were?
Yeah, they it actually was live streamed to my LinkedIn channel, so
Okay.
you can learn about them. And actually, Robert, who Jeff just mentioned with Click2.ai, was one of the speakers, and it's LinkedIn, but it's also all social media. So it really
Correct.
helps you skip the line, be more efficient, which is the thing that I think we all love about AI, right? It really helps expedite and save time, which we all need extra time, right? There's never enough hours in the day to get everything
Yes, I'm
done.
telling you.
What do you do? What's your
I'm a counselor, I'm a speaker, and I do a lot with the recovery.
Oh, awesome. And you know what's really interesting, Eric, is that AI in the visually impaired community, there are applications like Be My Eyes, where that there's volunteers on the other side that someone who's visually impaired has a question, they'll point their iPhone at something and say, "Can you tell me what this is, or what color is this, or describe this to me?" And they're able to do that. So this way, they have somebody that is their eyes.
Wow. See how technology, that's like, for me, that's very intimidating. That's the word I'm using. Yes. Very intimidating. I feel like, they're just going to take away like the whole human experience. Yeah.
But think about it. This is the good side of technology,
Yes.
because this is enhancing somebody's life. So they may not be able to see it, but you're enabling them to be able to experience it.
So EI, you didn't really ask this, but I'll give you my philosophy anyway. And I had this conversation with someone. So think of AI as a new tool. I don't know if you remember, but I'm old enough. When calculators first came out, it was like, ooh, can't let kids use calculators because they'll cheat or whatever. And over time, we've just incorporated as yet another new tool. So yes, AI is new. We don't know how it's going to turn out. I'm hoping it does not end up like Skynet. I don't think it will, but I had to work that in. I don't know if you're old enough.
Holster, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if you're old enough, EA, to get the Skynet reference, but I won't explain that. So
yeah, I am old enough. I
Okay.
definitely am.
so it's a new
Terminator.
tool. It's a new tool. Like any tool, it can have good or bad consequences. But as Lisa mentioned, we hope that as a new tool, it's used for good. I think there's a lot of good. And that's my hope with AI technology over time.
I agree. I think it's just incredible to be able to save time and to really be able to get things done way more efficiently. Like with our clients, we manage with PR, but also some social media, and there's a software called Cloud Campaign. And I actually am going to be talking with Robert from Click2.ai because his tool seems like incredible to be able to utilize and really, if he says that you could save 8 hours a week. I mean, that's huge
It is huge.
for anyone these days, because everybody's spread really
Really?
thin. And yeah, so I'm going to be having a demo soon, and we actually met here, and then
Yeah.
he spoke at the event last week.
So-
So
So actually, Click to AI, Robert Deck, great guy. He's offered. Thanks for calling. I guess I'll do a shameless plug. He's offered a discount code for Tech Hub members, but you really don't have to be a member. His app is free. Over a period of time, you should migrate to the paid version. If you do migrate to the paid version, there's a discount code TechHub, TECHHUB 20. You'll get a 20% discount if you want to look at using his tool.
Oh yeah, I'm writing down everything. I'm picking up everything y'all putting down. So
All right.
yeah.
Tech Hub, TECHHUB 20% discount on click2.ai. I'm using the discount code actually as well.
And EA, give us a shameless plug on you. I know a little bit about your background, but for everybody else who's listening who may not know about you, because I know you're doing some really beautiful work out there too, and I'm sure you're using technology in certain ways too to help.
I am, but I'm a dinosaur. I'm still like a dinosaur.
Oh, don't say that.
So,
Don't say
I
that.
feel like it. I feel like I'm aging myself. I feel like a dinosaur. I'm a counselor, and I do a lot of speaking in the form of like recovery, like the new world of recovery, especially for people of color. I introduce not new modalities, but modalities that are working for people like that look like. Okay, so that's what it's all about.
What's the best way? I guess obviously the Owwll app, but is there any other way that people could reach out to you?
Find out more about what you do. Find out how they can help you. Would you have a website?
Absolutely, I love you. That's the website has. The website is the Yellow Brick Road. So ericallenrecovery.shop.
I love it.
And that's ERICKALLEN recovery.shop. I have merch. I have everything on there that has to do with recovery. A blog. I talk about recovery every day because to do this work, you got to be consistent. You got to be every day, all day. That's what the EA stands for. Every day, all day. Let's go.
Well, the fact that you called in and asked about AI proves you're not a dinosaur.
Yeah.
That's right.
You're a sentient creature. You're not yet a bot. By the way, you're not a bot, correct?
No, I'm not.
I'm required by law to ask now. You're not a bot, right? By the way,
I am
again,
not a bot.
by law, state of Florida, I'm required to state none of us are bots either.
Okay.
Speaking of
good. I
shameless
can
plug,
see you guys.
I'm going to weave this into the conversation because it makes sense, Eric, for what you do. One of South Florida Tech Hub's members, VIB, who by the way was the title sponsor of the Golden Palm Awards.
Oh, I thought you let him in. All right. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So VIB did a TED talk on service over self, and you could look it up. Sean Shea is the CEO of VIB, and he started his company about 6 years ago, went off on his own. And
there you go. Full page ad.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, VIB.
started his company about, again, 6 years ago, I believe, and went off on his own. I think his company had downsized, and the company is now about a $25 million company. They, I think, have about 50 employees based in South Florida and North Palm Beach. And email marketing is lead generation, what they do. But I think that so many of us could learn from other members of South Florida Tech Hub, and they're doing beautiful work. They give back. They donate a lot to the Homeless Coalition, which actually I'm going to be there tonight feeding the homeless. And you mentioned one of your members was homeless at one point. So
Yes, he was.
yeah. So I'm
So
sure
can you
there's a
give me
lot
that-
of overlap there too.
Absolutely.
Can you give me that website one more time? You said VIB?
V as in Victor, B as in boy, .tech.
Okay, .tech. I am going to go swimming in on that site right now, actually.
I actually saw Sean's TED talk. Very amazing guy, really philanthropic, amazing story.
And
Backstory.
recovery too. You'll really love his TED talk, EA, because
I'm on it.
he
I'm on
talks
it, guys.
about being sober after 20 years, and it's a beautiful, beautiful story and full circle.
EA, thank you very much for calling in. Appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank
rock.
you. Thanks, EA. Okay, tell us about these, Lisa.
These are simulators. We do some sensitivity training because people don't know how to deal with people who are blind. They say, well, what do I do? These are human beings, and you want to see what they're seeing. So if you put these goggles on, you'll see the different kinds of things that they may be experiencing based on what the goggles are like.
I could just probably take my glasses off and I'd probably look just like this.
Oh my goodness.
And so we do sensitivity training so people understand the challenges that people may have. As you can see, Ricky has the peripheral vision where, actually, no, there's peripheral vision, yes. So this way you can see on the outside, but you can't see on the inside. So it's just
Wow.
interesting
Oh
how
my gosh,
different
I'm
things
looking at
happen.
I'm
Different
looking at different
lenses.
ones.
They're all different.
Oh my gosh, wow. Just makes you realize like how. Oh,
We've got a caller.
we've got Chella. She's a rock star on Owwll. Hi, Chella.
Hello.
How are you? I saw you on LinkedIn recently too.
I'm just want to be behind you. Oh my goodness. I had no idea we were doing the show.
So cool.
Welcome, welcome. Tech Tuesday every Tuesday, right? Tune
Every
in
Tuesday.
at 11 o'clock.
Be
Oh, my
there or be
goodness.
square.
Amazing guests like Lisa here.
And Ricky?
Yes, and Ricky.
Hey.
Okay, well, let's have some fun. So, Jeffrey, I was actually calling you to say kudos, great job. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
A couple of weeks ago, somebody called in and you gave them a brilliant idea. She's in tech, she's in IT, and you gave her a brilliant idea to go out and possibly serve a new market.
I
Just a
remember that. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So, sometimes we just got to show up. We got to keep asking the questions. And so I was calling to say congratulations and keep doing what you're doing because you never know when you're going to make an impact.
You're going to make me cry, Chella.
Aw, it's
Live on TV.
true.
I'm a crier, by the way. I'm a
Aw.
man, and I'll admit it. That was
Jeffrey is doing so much for the community. He really does. He gives back so much. He's incredible. So kudos to Jeff.
Thank you. Well, actually, I was gonna mention this at the beginning, but I don't want to sound overly serious, overly dramatic. I do think I'm a kind of fun guy, but we all focus on for-profit companies. I've been doing it for 30 plus years. That's important. For-profit companies run the world. You got to have a for-profit entity to kind of support maybe the not-for-profit. But I think it's important, as individuals and as companies, to give back. So yes, work on your for-profit. You got to make money, but that doesn't mean it should be to the exclusion of giving back and helping not-for-profit companies. So thank you for letting me say that.
No, I love that. And not what I do is, for me, yes, I do help women increase their fees. I do help entrepreneurs become visible on LinkedIn. And my passion project is financial literacy for high school and college students.
Wow, beautiful.
Brilliant.
So important.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
you know what? When I show up in the classroom, because I host workshops, when I show up in the classroom, whether it's in person, whether it's on Zoom, I learned so much from every single class. But the one that still is very dear to my heart is when I did a workshop for mostly foster care kids and mostly girls as well. It was a public high school, and the questions that they had. And this is why I say, we always got to keep showing up, keep asking the questions, because you never know. After I spoke to them or after they asked those questions, I adjusted the book that I was writing, taking their feedback into consideration because they had, when you're in the foster care system, you have a different viewpoint from somebody that grew up, whether even it's a single mom, right? Or with grandparents, it doesn't matter, right? But when you grew up in the foster system, you have a very different point of view. And some of the things that they consider to be, needs or in versus wants. So, but yeah, that still is very dear to my heart. And this is why I do what I do. And I keep showing up to the classrooms and I keep volunteering because when I learn something new, but similar to you, sometimes you just never know when you share an idea, how it's going to change that person's life.
And you are. I mean, you are creating that ripple effect, getting in front of these kids that may never have access to the information that you're providing. And you're providing, being a role model to them and showing them the way. And that's how, we break the chains of, um, issues that those types of children that are coming through foster care, they might not have access to someone that's teaching them about, generational wealth, how to get there, and financial literacy. So kudos to you, Chella. That's so, so, so important. And to start at that age is really when they need to hear about it,
Yes.
Mhm.
Or
So-
just open up, right? Just giving them ideas, planting the seeds. So when they're ready, at least they'll have options. It's all about options, I believe.
So, Chella, thank you for all your philanthropic efforts. But back to my comments, you do have a day for-profit job. Why don't you talk a little what you do on the for-profit side?
I love it. I love it. Bring it back to me. So, yes, I do. And um, I really, and this is an idea that was born on Owwll, which is why I'm the biggest fan on Owwll. So the
We
idea
are
that was
too.
born-
Hoot
Hoot,
hoot.
Go Al.
the idea that was born on Owwll is how entrepreneurs don't know how to get started on LinkedIn. They're afraid. They don't know what to do. So I created, after having 500 conversations on Owwll, I created a online LinkedIn masterclass to guide entrepreneurs to become visible on LinkedIn.
So powerful and so
That's great.
important. I mean, I've been using LinkedIn since 2007, and I know Lisa's very active on it. And obviously, Jeffrey, I'm not sure about Ricky, but you have
No,
to get
he's
on
not. He
it.
needs to be on.
But
not a professional
Chella, I think we're just scratching the surface with LinkedIn. People are just starting to, in the last few years, get more and more engaged. And it's interesting because I know, obviously Instagram is very visual, but Instagram still has not the statistically, 70% of Instagram users are under 34 years old, even though I'm on Instagram and I'm not under 34.
Yes, you are. 29.
That's
Today's
right.
your birthday, 29.
That's right. But the point is, I think LinkedIn is where a lot of things happen with businesses and communities, and you can really move the needle. I know I have so many business relationships that I've generated on LinkedIn, and kudos to you, Chella, for doing that because I feel like there's a huge need.
I appreciate that. And again, I always go back to the fact that, it was born on Owwll. So I am definitely the number one fan for Owwll. And because having conversations, listening to people, making connections, right? Owwll is the platform where we can come in. Jeffrey, I do appreciate the question. If you're listening, reach out. If you need to hop on Owwll, reach out. I'm there quite often.
Do you prefer office hours or ad hoc on Al?
I cannot do office hours. No.
Okay. That's why Al
Only
has both.
exactly. Only because you never know, something may come up. I'd rather just go on live when I know that I'll have the time to invest and to talk to people. But yes, I am there quite a bit. But I appreciate you guys being here. I really do. Keep doing what you're doing. Every single one of you is just brilliant. And honestly, I did not realize we were already online. But Jeffrey, from my heart to yours, keep doing what
Thank
you're
you.
doing. Cindy, I think you're a rock star.
Ditto. Back at you, Chella.
Thank you. I appreciate it. By the way,
Guys, have a
we'll be here next week.
beautiful. Have a
Same bat time,
wonderful,
same bat
wonderful day.
channel. For those of you who get that reference.
We do. Even the 29-year-olds in the room.
There you go. Thank you. If you don't get the reference, call me on Al. Well, I'm going to comment on something Jella said. Again, I don't want to sound serious. I don't want to sound dramatic.
Ooh, someone else is calling
let's
in.
take a call. We'll come back to that.
No time for drama.
There you go.
Hello.
Hello, Whitney. Welcome to the Owwll
How
and
are you?
South Florida Tech Hub Tuesdays.
Thank you.
How are you?
Hello. We're just calling in from our team. We're watching Lisa live. Sorry, the back door was open. We're watching Lisa live, and we just wanted to send a big shout out to her. We're so proud of her and so happy to be
Aw.
working with her.
She's
And I have,
amazing. She's
she
amazing.
is. I have Mary and Rosemary here.
Hi, Lisa. You're doing a great job.
She's
Great
an incredible
information.
spokesperson.
Is that your boss?
Seriously.
Is that your boss?
No, I'm the boss.
You're the boss.
Phenomenal.
We all have a boss somewhere.
So
Somewhere.
That's true. That's true somewhere.
Okay, my board chair, but I don't think
There-
he's
there
on. But that's my team.
We'll send it to him. We'll send it to him. We'll send the board chair.
yeah,
the
we're
video.
definitely going to be giving her a big shout out tonight at the board meeting. She's doing an amazing job, and we're happy to follow along with her vision for the lighthouse and where she's going to take us for the next 10, 20 years.
That's exciting.
Tell us a little what you do, Whitney. What's your day job?
I work as the director of marketing and development for the lighthouse, so all things social media, marketing, website, fundraising. You know, I am Lisa's third arm, technically. And then Mary Allen, who has been with the lighthouse for 37 years, she's our senior director of programs. And she's just a pillar in the lighthouse. We learn so much from her on a daily basis with regards to all things programs and the operations of Lighthouse. And then Rosemary Molero is director of social services, so everything to do with our adult programs. We also have Elizabeth Cruz, who is director of youth services. And then we have a executive assistant to Lisa, who is Jamie Libert. And Lisa mentioned Anna. And we have 20 people that I can't still mention, but just wanted to say hi. And we're so proud of her. We're sitting here just in awe of how well this is going. And we're so grateful to.
What, are you surprised?
No, not at all. We're just grateful to you guys for giving us this platform and the exposure.
But again, Whitney, I mean, thanks to all of you, my team, the things that we're doing in the community, people didn't know about.
Yeah.
And they're starting to get recognized because we're starting to talk about them. And we're starting to show people the talent that people who are visually impaired do have and give them a chance to make a difference. And again, partnering with people like Recipes for Success and other opportunities that we're looking at and talking about. It's just a very exciting time for us, I think all of us. And thank you, team, for everything you do every day. It's all about you.
Enjoy it. Thank you, Lisa.
So this stream will be available on one of your LinkedIn accounts. Which one of you will this replay be
It will
available?
be,
I think Whitney, right?
Yes, me. So I manage our page on my personal account, so it'll be live on my personal account as well as the LinkedIn
Why don't
page.
you spell your name for people to find it?
It's WHITNEY. Last name is ERASMUS.
Great.
We will look for you.
It'll also be
Thanks.
on Owwll and other.
And follow, right? Lighthouse on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Yes, our handle on all social media platforms is at Lighthouse Palm Beaches.
You know, might be interesting because I was a little confused. The difference between, well, first of all, what is the official geography that you cover county-wise, and how do you differ from the other? Not differ. What are the other similar lighthouses across the state and across the country?
Okay. First of all, every lighthouse is independent. We don't have a national lighthouse that we report up to. So we're all responsible for the different areas that we have. We cover 5 counties. We cover Palm
Wow.
Beach, Mountain,
Busy
Mountain
lady.
County.
Mountain
Out in
Busy
Colorado.
lady, right? Lots of
St.
lots of
Lucie,
territory.
Indian River, and also Okeechobee. So we have Palm Beach, the Treasure Coast, and Okeechobee. And again, like I said, it's just the talent of the team because they do work days, nights, and weekends. And we do have people that work full-time and part-time to make sure that they go and give the services to the people who need them. And again, like I said, from from babies all the way to expiration. So if people need the services, they're there to help them. I mean, you may have lost your sight. You don't know how to navigate your kitchen. How do you turn on the water to make a pot of tea or make yourself something to eat? So there's so many different things that we take for granted that people need to relearn, if you will.
So if someone is in Miami-Dade County or Broward County, there's another lighthouse.
There's a lighthouse in Miami, and there's a lighthouse in Broward.
Okay.
So, whatever your geography is, of course, you want to call them. And the good news about many of the lighthouses is that even though we're independent, we do have an organization called Florida Services, Florida Agencies Serving the Blind, FASB they call it. And it's a membership organization. But the collaboration there between people who run the different lighthouses throughout the state is just amazing. The people have so much passion for this work, who have so much experience, who know the ins and outs of the different contracts that we have to read with the Division of Blind Services to make sure that we can provide and maximize the services that we give to people who need them, to make sure they get the devices they need to be able to be independent and to live their lives. It's just amazing.
And so, just so we understand and the listeners understand, the way that Lighthouse raises money to be able to provide tools to all of these people who need them is through fundraising, through grants. Do you want to share that just so people can get involved if they can help you in any way?
First of all, the Lighthouse doesn't charge for any services that it gives.
Amazing. Wow.
So,
that's what I was wondering too.
Right.
That's incredible.
And based on, the different groups, there are different contracts for each age group: blind babies, children's programs, adult programs, older blind. It's just amazing. Vocational rehabilitation. We are doing all those different things. And what we need to do then, because only about 50% of what it costs to give these services is covered by the Division of Blind Services. So then, yes, we do get grants. And, when Whitney and I are really working towards with our whole team, trying to figure out how we can get more grants to fund the activities that we need to do to really be able to give more opportunities to the people who are looking to do different things or learn different skills. So it's been really wonderful to be able to do that. But we do have people that support us. We do have sponsors, and we also do have individual donors. And when people pass away, they leave us money, they bequest us money, which is lovely.
Beautiful.
The only bad thing is that sometimes we don't know who they are and we can't say thank you. So it's just, but it is nice that they thought of us.
So on that point, not to get too esoteric, but Lighthouse, you are a 501c3, correct?
That's correct.
And for those accountants out there, that's an important distinction for fundraising.
Yes.
A good distinction.
It is. And again, I think it's just the more awareness that we have within all the 5 counties, and we are starting to spread more. As you all know, a lot of people have moved to Port St. Lucie. And so we have a lot more people who need services in Port St. Lucie. And we do have now, through a grant that we received, we are providing a focus club up there at the Port St. Lucie Library once a month.
I love it. So I have to sneak out at 12, but I wanted to ask, so if someone is visually impaired, do they find you through Google? Do they get referred by other agencies? Like what normally is the process, or can they just call and ask for help?
They can call and ask for help, but we do work with the Division of Blind Services too. So they may actually have people that they recommend come to us for different services depending on what they need. So we can get them started, and they develop a case for them. And of course, our teachers that we have, all of the people who work for us have to be certified. And that's a big deal, and it's a big expense. So that's what, may distinguish us from others, because the Division of Blind Services, in order for us to be paid, we have to have people who meet all the certifications that they need to provide the services. It can't just be somebody who, oh, I'm blind and I learned something, let me teach you too. As much as there's value in that too, because they can collaborate together, it's not the same.
When you say the Division of Blind Services, that's the state of Florida.
It is. It's under the Department of Education.
It's wonderful. Such great work. And I'm so happy to learn more about it, because I think we just scratched the surface, but I can't wait to learn more. I can't wait to go to the luncheon. Hopefully. I have
Yes.
to learn about
Come for a
that.
tour.
Yeah. Comfort tour. Exactly. That's
So
great.
Whitney, thanks for calling in. You've got any parting
Thank
last
you.
thoughts?
Thank you,
No,
Whitney.
we're just grateful. Thank you so much.
Thanks for
Thank
what
you.
you
Thank you.
do.
Thank you.
Jason?
Hold on one second. wants to call to say happy birthday.
Ooh.
So we can't let you leave.
Lisa, why don't you repeat the phone number and the URL
Okay,
of
it's
Lighthouse?
URL is lhpb.org, and the phone number is 561-586-5600.
And you do welcome volunteers as well.
Absolutely. Volunteers, any kind of questions, any kind of support. We're here to help the community, and if you'd like to help us, we'd love to have you.
Well,
I have to get a
we-
Zoom at noon. I'm sorry.
Cindy, thank you very much.
Yes,
thank you
this
for
was
everything.
incredible, Lisa. I'm so glad we caught up a little. We definitely have to now make this a habit, right?
I think so. I think so.
I know. I
We'll
saw
make
that
Lisa
yours.
regular.
I saw you at the award ceremony.
Right.
That was amazing. That was a beautiful, incredible event that Tech Hub put on.
It was. I loved being on the
Golden
stage.
Palms.
Oh, we got a caller.
Hi,
Maybe
John.
last caller for the day.
You're the best. I can chat for 1 minute and then I'll be late for my Zoom. But hello, John. It's not. Well, I'm so happy that I can say hi to John here. John is an incredible partner. We do some LinkedIn locals together, and he helps with our TEDx Boca Raton. He's incredible. He really is. So find John on Owwll. Learn more about him and what he does. He's in the fintech space. I know that. Thank you, John, for calling. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Lisa.
you.
Bye, Cindy.
Bye.
So we
And happy
probably
birthday.
have probably a few minutes if another caller. Operators are standing by. Not really, but you can
For a
call.
limited time offer.
Yeah, limited time offer. Operators are standing by, as seen on TV.
Mm-hmm. How many more you got?
What am I missing?
I was gonna say.
Um,
Yeah, another call here.
There you
do
go.
we have a call? Okay,
There you go.
Rebecca,
Hi, Jeffrey. Good morning or good afternoon.
Good
welcome.
morning.
It's so. I just want to get right to this. The young lady that was showing the goggles. It's so interesting. And one of the things I want to share is, my first boyfriend was paralyzed from a football accident in high school. And I'm just saying that I've just been around people that have challenges. I don't even know what the correct term is. But when I was living in, and so that's all my life. And so when I was living in Oregon, probably 2 years ago, I volunteered at the senior center. And there was a gentleman there who was the chef, and he was blind at the senior center. And he was it happened when he was older. I think when he was 30 or 40, in his 40s, and now he's in his 50s. And so he wasn't born blind. And I just had the best, when I say best time, he was one of the things that I've learned is people that have challenges, physical, whatever they are, they want to be treated like everybody else.
Because they
Hello?
are like everybody else.
Thank you. And so one of the things that I do with people, and it's just me because I don't have too many brain cells left just to remember people's names. So I usually give people a nickname. I'm a fitness instructor, a teacher, and I give them a nickname. So I asked him, listen to this one, seatbelts, please. I said, may I call you Peepers? And he loved it. And to this day, we've been friends for 5 years. I moved, but we've been friends for 5 years. I was just in Oregon visiting him 3 weeks ago. And we have this game. Oh, this is horrible, but it's fun and it's funny. And so I say, Peepers, catch. And he just lifts up his hand like he's gonna catch the ball. So my point is to always remember to keep it light and fun and funny, and we're all the same. We're more the same than we are different.
That is for sure. And you know what? Being around people with disabilities is a humbling experience. You become very, very grateful for the things that you do have, and very grateful for the relationships that you do build with the people who do have these disabilities and the amazing things that they do every single day.
Yes, when you said that, I got chills, of course. So disabilities is the correct term. Yes, and it is. You're absolutely right. And then also to maybe add some humor. Always humor. Humor keeps everything light. At least that's what I do.
So what do you do, Rebecca?
Well,
Not a trick question.
As little as possible.
Okay.
But no, but what I do, what I was put on this planet to do, I've been researching it for 45 years. When I was younger, you know, when you blow the candles out on the birthday cake and you make a wish, I always wished for the same two things. I wanted to live to my potential, and I didn't have any idea what that meant or a specific vision. I said I want to live to my potential. And the second thing I said I want to be happy. So what I do is I am a happiness specialist. And what that means is I just share with people how to experience more happiness on this journey. And the good news is happiness, like anything from being a tech engineer or a speaker or a writer or a musician or an athlete, is a practice skill. So what do you practice? And you practice eliminating all of the program behaviors that subtract. And when I say happiness, I'm talking about a personal vibration, a personal energy of contentment, regardless of what happens.
Okay, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Any other thoughts, Rebecca? Questions?
No, but let me just say this since I'm live, and thank you so much for the time. The book that I just published is called Programmed for Unhappiness, and it's on Amazon, and I list 55 program behaviors, different levels that subtract. And so that's all I have to say, unless anyone has questions for me. But I did have one question. I want to videotape and audio tape me reading the book. What do you think technically? What do you think is the best platform to put that on?
I'm going to let maybe Jason come on camera if you have a thought to answer her
Oh.
question. Uh-oh. Repeat your question.
So I'm going to videotape and audio tape myself reading my own book. Those audio and video.
Rebecca, I'm sorry. Let Jason put the headphones on. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, I'm back. I'm on the show, Rebecca. What's going on?
Oh my goodness. You again, Jason, you again.
I'm behind the scenes. They pulled me in because Cindy has a Zoom meeting she had to attend at noon, but I'm here. I'm looking at her camera.
Well, I just had a very simple question. My book was just published a couple of months ago, and I want to audio and videotape me reading the book. So what is the best platform to release that on?
Audio and video.
Audio and video.
Well, this is just a matter of you flipping an iPhone screen and just filming yourself, like an iPhone on a tripod, and then just taking that and distributing it everywhere. I mean, you go YouTube, right? Instagram. Why not go everywhere? What's preventing you from all platforms, I guess?
Spotify now, I believe, allows you to upload video with audio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that. See, we have a podcast expert in the house today,
Ricky,
Rebecca, and you did not know that.
Sorry,
Ricky
I
behind
could have
the
asked
scenes
Ricky.
edits many shows.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, like nowadays it's so easy to be able to get any type of recording for video or audio. If you simply just do it into your phone, you can be able to buy a myriad of different microphones off of Amazon that you can be able to use, repurpose the audio there's tons of AI tools that you can be able to use to repurpose the audio as well as video. And you can upload it to YouTube. You can upload it to Vimeo. If you want to put it behind a paywall, you can upload it to your website just as whatever. But I mean, there's tons of different ways that the possibilities are limitless, and you can literally just do it with the phone.
Well, thank you for that. I'm going to be, since I work at UNLV, teaching the class Truth About Happiness. So they've offered to give me a actual studio. So so the sound quality video is going to be a lot better than just the phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then as far as distribution, it's literally anywhere.
Okay, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
The only thing with distribution is remember size, vertical versus horizontal. So often on the Owwll podcast, we're filming in two different directions. A lot of people don't know that, but we want to take reels a certain way. On an iPhone, full vertical versus the camera sitting on a tripod doing horizontal, for example.
Yeah, you could also do it where you set up your video so that you're centered in the screen. So you can use the same video and just crop it to a vertical view as opposed to a horizontal view.
Okay,
So
thank you
that's
so much. I
two birds,
really,
one stone.
yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'll give you my 2 cents. Be
Yes,
yourself,
please.
be
Yes.
yourself, be natural, and don't worry about being overly professional. I don't think people want that these days. They want authenticity.
Yes.
Well, let me say this. I'm 68. I've done over 600 shows. I'm on video all the time. Oh, I'm authentic. I'm personal. I'm natural. I'm all of that. You know what? But thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for calling in. I think we're unless we got another caller, I think we're going to wrap up. I didn't offer you, Ricky. So how
Offer me
would
what?
if people want to follow up and reach out to you? What's your Instagram handle? What's the best way other than the Owwll app to reach out to you?
I mean, just Instagram. It's at It's Me Ricky B on Instagram, and literally, if you just type in It's Me Ricky B, everything will come up of mine.
But I have one quick question before we end. I want to hear about your children's book.
Oh, so I have 3 published books right now.
Oh, cool. And what are they about?
So one of them is about my cat, who, when we got our dog, decided that she wanted to live in the bathroom instead of the rest of the house. The other one is about fitting in. It's this book called Gary the Ghost. And then the third one is actually about my nephew, who he suffers from a very rare version of cerebral palsy. So he's nonverbal.
Mm-hmm.
So when he communicates in his classrooms and stuff like that, they use what they call a communication board, and it has a bunch of different signs because he can't do anything. So I made this book called I Don't Need Words to Talk, and it's essentially explaining how nonverbal kids go through their lives. And it also, in the back of the book, when you order it off Amazon, you can be able to cut out, and there's a communication board built right into the book as well.
It's interesting that you say that, because we do have locally in West Palm Beach a bookshop called Roni's Readery. And
Really?
she has so many books for people with different abilities and disabilities, so everybody feels like they belong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was one of those
So-
things where my nephew, he just turned 13, and he extremely rare disease. And so it's been something that's been part of the family for a very long time. But the recent thing with making the book is that now I'm going back and retroactively changing all the manuscripts so they all have the communication board in them, so that every single book is good for nonverbal children as well.
That's awesome. And my granddaughter has autism, so I'm very familiar with that and the communication boards. And they do, I mean, they're able to communicate on their level and do it very effectively.
And it's not, the thing about the communication boards too is they're not like sanctioned by schools or anything like that. It's usually the teachers are the ones that are creating it. So like the teachers have to go through all of this stuff of doing everything on their own. So it's nice to be able to service that part of education as well.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you for that. I appreciate
Thank you
that.
for everything you do.
And you should share with Roni your publications. I think she'd
Absolutely.
be
If
interested.
people wanted to buy the books, where should they go?
Go into Amazon, type in my name, Ricky Bolafé, B as in boy, O-L-U, F as in Frank, E, and all 3 books will show up.
Great. Lisa, any parting thoughts, last words?
Again, thank you all for having me here today. I can't tell you how much it means to us to talk about what we do here at the Lighthouse and all the things that technology has been able to open so many doors for our community and continue to evolve, continue to create things, continue to help us connect those who may be unconnected otherwise. We really appreciate you and everything you do. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Jason, any last words?
I just joined the show.
All right.
6 hours
Get
for
outta
me,
here.
right?
Anybody tuned
Now
in
I'm
for the last
starting.
10 minutes, they would have just.
Now I'm
just
starting.
left
I'm behind
cake
the
was
scenes.
part.
I got my own shows. I got
All
the
right.
Owwll podcast, the Shrimp Tank. This is your show.
All right. I'll take
I'm
that.
just here to supply cakes.
I'll
Jeff,
take
what
that.
do you do?
Yeah,
Thank
what
you.
do you do? Explain to the community. You keep coming here every Tuesday. We're calling Tech Tuesdays with South Florida Tech Hub. But explain what is your role with the brand?
I forgot to say that.
Yeah,
when I
you did.
introduced myself. Sorry about that. So I'm and thank you for the question.
You're very
So
welcome.
I am director of membership and partner engagement at South Florida Tech Hub. Really just 2 parts to my job: supporting our existing members. Jason is a member. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And everything that entails, supporting our existing members and hopefully helping the organization grow with getting net new members. So those are the two things I do, and I'm also kind of the focal point for Tech Tuesdays. So
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Any any questions about that or anything we've talked about on the show? I'm on the Owwll app.
Well, I'm going to ask a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Right, because there's a lot of tech organizations in the area, right? And
True.
often people come to me all the time, and they really don't know much. Like you're in it and you know everything, but there's so many people moving here from New York, California, and they meet me at an event and they're like, what should I do? It just seems like there's events everywhere. So what makes South Florida Tech Hub unique?
That's a great question. I get that question a lot, so I'll give it a shot. A couple of things that make us unique is that we're a regional organization. Speaking of the geography that we cover Miami-Dade County, Broward County, Palm Beach County, Martin County, or Mountain County. I'm joking. I like that, Mountain County. We don't have too many mountains in Florida, except Trash Mountain, Mount Trashmore. If you don't get that reference, give me a call.
Only on Owwll.
Martin County, St. Lucie County, and Indian River County. So we take a regional view. There are a lot of other good organizations in South Florida. Oftentimes they take a city or a county view. Nothing wrong with that, but we take a regional view. We think we're stronger as a region than any one city or county. I guess the other thing is we have a pretty, and I didn't talk about this, we have a really interesting, diverse mix of members. We have pre-revenue startups all the way up to global multinational companies like Office Depot. So we have an interesting mix of different size companies. Also, we work with a lot of other nonprofits. You don't have to be a for-profit company to be a member. We work with a lot of universities and other nonprofits, including government agencies. Economic Development Board, for example, the Economic Development Boards, for example, the one in Boca Raton is very active. I'm working to get her as a guest. So we have a diverse mix of members. We cover a large regional basis from a geography standpoint, and we also have an international presence. A lot of Latin American members are members as well. Does that help?
I'm going to sum it up into one word because you asked me before the Golden Palm Awards, and it's the word community, right?
Good.
So often solo entrepreneurs really are stressed because they're doing everything themselves, right? And they see all these events and it's almost overwhelming. And what's really unique with South Florida Tech Hub is when I go out to the Golden Palm Awards, I see a lot of same faces, but then new faces as well, and like-minded professionals, ones that take it very serious, and it's not coming in, wearing flip-flops and shorts like that. That has its times, but it's like with these events, like everyone seems put together and like-minded and wanting to help one another, right? So when I go to the South Florida Tech Hub happy hour at Tap 42, like it's just a good vibe, right? And I feel like some other organizations, it's kind of like you go to an event, but no one really seems to be connected. It's just like pay to play. Right. Like go into an event and you're there, and then you leave, and then you go to a different event. But with South Florida Tech Hub, it seems like the members really connect with one another, and also coming from your end, you really connect members, right? So I know that if I do want to do something with Office Depot, like I can knock on your door or the CEO, Nikki, and say, hey, I really think there's a benefit for me talking to the president of Office Depot. Can you shoot an intro email? And you will do that. Or a lot of other organizations, there's no middle person to do that. So if everyone out there is listening, my recommendation is reach out to Jeffrey. Like when we launched South Florida Tech Hub Tech Tuesdays here in the studio, I just said, hey, I got this great idea. No one's ever done this before. And they entertained it. And 3 months later, like, we're just like, let's run with it. And look at us now. So my point is, like, some other tech communities would be like, well, there's, too much risk here. Or it's going to take too much time. But you guys saw the bigger picture, right? You guys said this is cutting edge, and our members could value this type of platform. So kudos to you for running with this.
That was a much better answer than mine, Jason.
I'm a member, so I see it from the other perspective.
Thank you.
Well, you're all in all this.
I'm gonna go back to the recording and write all that down. That was probably a better answer.
You don't have to do any of that. You just post it.
There you go.
So that's the point of social media.
There you go.
Clip it.
So thank you for that, Jason. If there's no other parting thoughts, thank you very much. Great show. Thank you for Lisa for attending. Thank you, Ricky, for attending as well. Thank you, Jason, for everything.
Absolutely. Always. I'll be back next Tuesday, right at 11 o'clock. So make sure to follow our social media and connect.
Well, let me give a plug for our next week's guest.
Sure.
It's RoboHood, fascinating local company, the use of robotics in art and education and technology. Don't miss it.
No.
It'll be almost as good as this week's episode, but it's going to be something completely different. Robohood, the use of technology, use of robotics and technology.
Nice. Awesome.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.